Hey guys, so for today's video, I have this full face first impressions doing this makeup look, which is super bold, super kind of edgy. I used a bunch of new products and kind of shared with you guys my first impressions. I used the new NYX foundation, Marc Jacobs bronzer, the new Estee Lauder Heat Wave on the cheekbones. So if you are interested in checking out this makeup look and the first impressions on the products that I used, then make sure to keep on watching. So the first product we're gonna try out is this Milk Makeup Blur Stick. So this has been all around social media. Everyone's been testing this out, so I'm really excited. They actually reached out to me and sent me some products. So this will actually be the first Milk makeup product that I try. So I'm really excited. I don't know exactly how to apply this, but I'm gonna kind of just do it how I would, just like directly on the face. And I'm going to apply it in the areas that I get the most pores, and then just a little bit on the other parts. And I'm gonna blend it in. It's a little bit tough to blend, like it's not as smooth and silky. Ooh, a little clumpy. Yeah, a little bit of clumps. Not a fan of that, but I mean, I only got a tiny little bit. I think another thing I would also do is directly put it on my finger and then also kind of do it like this. So now for foundation, I'm really excited because I'm gonna be trying the new NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. So this has been all over social media as well. I've heard some people are loving it, some people are hating it, so I'm really kind of curious to see if I will like it. Typically when it comes to these like dropper foundations, I'm not a huge fan because they're usually too serumy, you know what I mean? Like too light and like slippery. So I'm hoping I do like this. I've also heard that it's really good for bronzing, you know, so I figured we'll do a foundation and we'll also do a little bit of bronzing. So this is pretty much supposed to be kind of a customizable foundation. So depending on the amount of drops that you apply, it will be either light, medium, or full coverage. You guys know me, I like full coverage. I think they say 4 or 5 drops for full coverage, but I just know that's not gonna be enough. So I'm gonna apply like a lot. Okay, I don't know, this color's like way too dark. Whoops. So we're gonna mix it with the shade Beige, which is the number 11. Yeah, I would definitely either way I think have to mix these two shades because 13 is definitely like way too dark and then 11 is just way too yellow. So in terms of the texture, it definitely does have like, you know, that lightweight feel, but it's definitely not as slippery or serumy as some other drop foundations, which I actually like. So here's how it looks with the amount that I'm putting. I would say it's giving a good amount of coverage. It's like close to full with the amount that I put. You guys see that? You can still see some skin imperfections underneath though. So I think that it looks pretty good, especially in combination with that primer. My skin looks pretty smooth. And I would say it's definitely a nice natural finish, almost like a soft natural matte. And I am actually just gonna put 3 more drops and apply it on the cheek area because this is where I kind of have a little bit of that redness, a little bit of rosacea. So I don't have a new concealer to try, so I'm just gonna go in with some of my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Medium. But I do have the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream that you guys know I love, but I have it in the shade White, which I haven't tried the white shade yet. So I figured I'm gonna try it with you guys on camera now, and I'm just gonna add, I'm just gonna add a little bit, just a little bit, to see how I like it brightening wise. So it's definitely pigmented. If you're gonna use it to brighten, I would use it with caution. But I like that you can kind of use it to custom your shades and customize how bright you want your concealer or whatever. Oh my god, I totally forgot that I was gonna use the new Sigma sponge to blend out the concealer. So I still have some more blending to do in the nose area, so we're just gonna use this new Sigma 3D sponge. It looks really cool. Like, I think I'm really gonna love this. I have some like high hopes for this, so I really hope it's good. I love how it's like so cut edge, and if you're a huge fan of baking, this would be like perfect. I mean, you know? Oh yes, this is like, this just, oh. Cause I always like, when it comes to blending out my nose, up like the concealer up my nose, it's always hard to get right in there. And this like just gets right up in there. And it is blending really nicely. And it actually is bouncy. You know, like a lot of the times when brands try to come out with a beauty blender dupe, it just doesn't work out. But Sigma, I feel like they listen to us and they know what we look for in a sponge. And I'm pretty sure they knew, okay, we gotta make this. I'm just gonna use like the leftover product that's on here and add some more. I'm pretty sure they knew, okay, we gotta make this bouncy for them. All right, so I have the shade Cappuccino from the NYX Total Control Drops, and I'm really hoping it works as a cream bronzer. We're gonna see. It does look a little bit, you know, a little bit too warm for me. So I just put one drop. I'm just gonna put a second one, and then I'm gonna use my finger to spread the product around the brush. I am like kind of nervous for this. So I'm just gonna stipple it on. So definitely a super warm shade. So it does look pretty nice. The only thing is it's a bit too on the luminous side for me for a, not luminous, but like, you know, it has that natural finish on the cheeks for some reason. It just looks a little bit like not really as matte as I would like. Maybe I would kind of like it in the summer, but it is pretty nice. So now to set that cream bronzer, we're gonna try this new bronzer for me. This is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze in Tantric. I've heard such good things about this, especially from Michael Finch. I was watching one of his tutorials. You guys saw this in my Sephora haul. He used this and raved about it, so I'm really hoping I like it. It looks a little bit too cool tone in the pan for me, but once you swatch it, it does look really pretty, so I'm excited. And the formula seemed really nice during the swatch, so let's see. Ooh, yeah, definitely not too cool tone. It's like a really nice, almost like a little bit of a neutral, you know, not too warm either. Really nice, and the formula blends very smoothly. So for blush, I'm gonna test out this e.l.f. blush palette. I have used one of their blush palettes before, but not this shade. So I figured we'll go ahead and try this shade out. I do like the formula of the one that I own, so I'm pretty sure I'll like this one too, but I guess we'll see. I like that they're not like overly pigmented, you know, because it lets you build it up and it just looks more natural than having just like bam, like blush color all over the cheeks. So now I'm really excited to test this out with you guys. This is the new Estee Lauder Heat Wave. Heat Wave was a highlighter they released like a long time ago. I never got my hands on it, unfortunately, but they came out with it again and kind of just changed the color a little bit. So I'm just really curious to try the formula. Hopefully I like the color and the formula. The formula does swatch very nicely, so hopefully it looks just as nice on the cheeks. I'm gonna take a good amount of it and pop that. Whoa, like, I'd put it on for like 2 seconds. Wow. Whoa, that's intense, like intense. Wow. So there are a little bit of sparkles, but it looks really tasteful though. Like it doesn't look like chunky and like tacky. It just looks really like beautiful. But if you're really picky, like, oh my God, that's like super pigmented. I'm gonna have to like really blend this out. If you're very picky about that, like you don't like any sparkles at all, then you might not, you know, you might not be a huge fan. The pigmentation is just unreal and out of this world. Like I've never applied a highlighter and within 1 second it was like already intense. Also, today's first impression is filled with a lot of like face products. When it comes to most of the eyes, I don't have a lot of products, but I'm still gonna try to create a super cool look for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead, do my brows, and we'll be back to do the eyes. So now I wanna go ahead and test out this eye primer with you guys. This is the, well, it's actually a perfecting highlighter, but I'm gonna use it as a primer today. This is the Maybelline Brow Precise Perfecting Highlighter. So you're kind of supposed to perfect your brows, you know, with it, but I don't do that. I don't shape my brows or clean up my brows with concealer. I just prefer a more natural look. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and use this to prime my eyelids and see how that kind of works out. So it's super smooth, and I like how easy it is to apply on the lid because it's in like a stick form. It almost has this like silicone based feel, so I don't know how that would work to perfect your brow, because if you're perfecting your brow and like kind of concealing it, I would assume you would want something to be, you know, just thick and like, you know, not something too slippery or silicone-y. So that's kind of weird, but it does work as a good eye primer so far. It's blending out nicely, it doesn't seep into any creases or fine lines in the eyes, so having that silicone base is working as like a plus when it comes to eye priming. So for the eyes today, I'm actually going to use the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Textured Shadows palette. So I'm actually going to take this shade right here, Sandalwood, and I'm just going to buff this in the crease and also all over the lid. And I'm gonna also put this all over the lid and just blend it out. So I'm also just taking the same bronzer from Marc Jacobs and blending that all over. I'm also just gonna take those two same colors and blend it underneath the eye. So I'm gonna go ahead and take black truffle and I'm just gonna kind of create a little bit of a smoky eye right close to the lash line. And you just wanna like blend it out. It's gonna be super messy and smoky. And I am just gonna create a little bit of a wing. And by the way, this is the e.l.f. Small Precision Brush. And I'm gonna take the same black shade, take it from the liner up top and really bring it underneath. So I know it looks a little silly and scary right now, but we're just gonna blend it out with a E36 brush and we're gonna keep kind of building it up. Taking a little bit more of that Marc Jacobs bronzer, we're gonna go over that and really blend it out. So now we're gonna test out a new mascara. This is the YSL The Shock Mascara that I just received in the mail the other day. And this is how the brush looks, just so you guys can get like a close-up. So I am just gonna take it to the root and wiggle it upwards. So far I can tell it's a very wet formula, which I'm not a huge fan of. I prefer formulas that are a little drier. To me, like the wetter the formula, the more clumpy the mascara ends up being. But this isn't so bad, but I can already see it like starting to clump and this is just the first coat. So I just recently tried this new Marc Jacobs Highliner Matte Gel Eye Cream, but I tried it in the pink shade. So I figured, let me try the black shade because black is always like, I feel like a good true test, just to see how I like it. So let's see. So it's not as black as I would expect it to be in the tight line. I have super watery eyes, so I'm always very picky with these eyeliners. So I just went ahead and popped on some lashes. I'm using the Koko Goddess lashes. So I want to use some new lippies that I purchased from my Sephora haul, but I don't know how they're going to look with this look. So let's hope they look good. This is the Bare Minerals Matte Lip Cream in the shade Cult. It's super pale, so I might just end up putting just a little bit of it. And I think I want to wear a glossy lip today. So I think I'm going to use either Bare Minerals Fly, right? Fly? Far Out, or Bare Minerals Fly. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. What I love about these is they smell like chocolate chips. So good, like chocolate chip pancakes. God, your girl hasn't had chocolate chip pancakes in so long. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this. Oh yes, baby. This is like concealer lips times 100. Yes, like thank you. I mean, I know it looks a little bit, the formula is really nice. I know it looks a little bit ridiculous, a little bit too pale, but I love this color and I feel like maybe with a little bit of liner on the edges, it will look even better. This is MAC Strip Down Liner. I've used MAC liners before, I love them, but I've never used Strip Down, so we'll see how this color looks. I'm just gonna very like lightly put it, by the way, because I don't want it to be dark or too lined. I'm just using the side of the pencil. I think I would love this color. It's like so pale, so pretty. But I feel like because it is so pale, in combination with the pale lip color already, it's gonna maybe look too pale. So I'm gonna add a little bit of color with the shade Fly, and it's a really beautiful like light nude with a couple specks of gold in it. Yeah, that's like perfect. Oh, I die. Oh, are you guys not living for that color? And the formula is really nice, like so, like it just glides on nicely, not too sticky. Oh my God, it's like thick enough too, but not too slippery. I know some of you guys are not going to be a fan of the lip color, but that's okay because I'm really digging it. I kind of just like, I like how edgy this look is, like a super sharp black smoky eye with really spiky lashes and a pale lip. It's just very like edgy, but totally if you aren't down for it, just replace it with a nude lip. And if you're feeling super bold, I feel like a red look would look super, super edgy and bold with this look. So that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me give you guys my first impressions on these new goodies. Like, thumbs up for more videos like this, and I will of course see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.